You think about who would you want beside you when you've lost your way? Who would you want beside you when you've gone the wrong way and you need to course correct and find your way back? Who would you want beside you when you crash? You want your best friend, that partner who you know gets you, who understands you. And how do you create that? You know, maybe you have that with your partner now, or maybe that feels more distant. Welcome back to another episode of Embodied Relating with Braedy Mac. I'm of course your host, Braedy Mac. And today I want to talk to you about friendship and lovemaking. Now, if you're in relationship, oftentimes there's the lovemaking and the friendship, and hopefully you have both. The most important place to look in your long-term relationship is going to be actually the friendship. And of course, you know, I've had friendships that have been really great and non-sexual. I've also had relationships that have been all about sex and not so much of a best friend quality. And so the idea is to have the connection to the sex and the lovemaking and the passion and the fire and the polarity work, the passion work, but also have connection to the harmony, to the best friend quality, to the team, to the person that you want to connect with, you want to call, you want to spend time with. And when we think about these different qualities, the lovemaking quality is oftentimes what shows up in the second chakra, which is our sacrum, our sacral chakra. And this is the place that pleasure lives. This is the attachment to the sexual organs, to the availability to creation and the creation of life. This is our movement or dance. It's associated with water and flow. And this can be really beautiful to bring into pleasure for your relationship. So you can have this strong chakral connection, strong second chakra connection, rather. And that's going to have you feeling really turned on, really connected to each other sexually. There's also a way that you can connect through other areas. You know, the lower three chakras, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root, are the lower chakras. They're more primal, they're more attached to desire and pleasure and safety and like our primal energy, our fire, our warrior. And as we start to move up, we can start to move towards places like the heart, which can also create the most beautiful, wonderful connection. And you can have this connection through the heart in friendships and in best friend qualities. If you think about, you know, a time when you were with a friend and you're in the car and you got the windows down and the music's playing and it's like some really good music, you know, like driving to the beach music, Ziggy Alberts, maybe your hands like out the window, you know, doing that thing that it does on road trips and it's just kind of blowing in the wind. It's not a road trip unless your hand does that at least once. And then, you know, you think about your partner beside you. Can you feel the fullness of the joy, the pleasure, the connection with the other? Do you really feel connected through the heart? And, you know, if in this example, you look beside you and you saw someone else other than your partner, that's okay too. The idea is to get familiar with this experience, this pleasure of connection through places like the heart. And when you take that person and you feel into the connection that you have, just know that part of that is maybe happening naturally. There's some people that are just going to be easier to connect with. There's going to be some people that you naturally want to open your heart to. But there's also a formula. There's also a way to create that, right? There's something about the reliability of the car. There's something about the music that's playing. There's something about your willingness to be in the car. There's something about the destination. So all of these things are kind of curated around building your friendship and building your connection in this way. And, life, if we think of that as the ride, which is, one pretty long ride with twists and turns and ups and downs, you want to be in the car with someone along for that ride, with someone that you love, someone that you can feel connected to. Not just someone you're turned on by the whole time, right? Like sexually turned on beside them. Like, all right, like it's beautiful to make love and like have sex, and it can get steamy, but somewhere along the way, like we gotta drive, and we gotta like navigate how to make these big turns, and we gotta learn how to be with each other and eat food together and make music together and dance together and all of these other things as well. So there's just a little bit of a different quality when we think about the love making, the sexual energy and attraction versus the heart open best friend quality, someone that you can really rely on. And along that ride, that crazy ride called life, you are going to make some wrong turns. You're maybe going to crash at times. You're going to get lost in terms of directions. You're going to need support through each other, from each other in those challenging times, right? You think about who would you want beside you when you've lost your way? Who would you want beside you when you've gone the wrong way and you need to course correct and find your way back? Who would you want beside you when you crash? You want your best friend, that partner who gets you, who understands you. And how do you create that? Maybe you have that with your partner now, or maybe that feels more distant. How do you create the best friend quality? Because this is what's really going to make the difference on a long drive. So part of that is considering, how can I be on the same team as this person? How can I bring this person onto my team? How can I be a team that is enjoyable to be a part of? How can I be a team member that is reliable? How can I be a team member that tries to have the right directions as much as possible? And in this metaphor, even if you're not the driver of the car, if you're the person in the passenger seat, you still have a lot of say, right? You have a voice, and you probably can navigate and guide directions, and you can, do that thing in the car when the driver's got to take off their outer layer, like their jacket, and they're like, can you just help me pull on my sleeve? And you're like, yeah, let me help you pull on the sleeve. And you can be that person for that person. And if you're the person driving the car, how can you be in integrity? How can you keep your attention on the road, but also be present and emotionally available for your partner? How can you be the person who knows like the direction, the destination, and is the person who's driving the vehicle, keeping you safe along the way, but moving in the right direction? Not afraid to jump on the highway or for my German community, the Autobahn, and go fast and be able to get there with like certainty and safety, right? How can we work these pieces out in your own life? And take a moment and think about that. Think about how you can make this ride the most enjoyable for you and for everyone involved. Guess what? You're on that ride right now. And whether you're in a romantic relationship or not, you have people in your life who are friends and family, and you can bring them in and enroll them in having an amazing road trip through life. So I want you to think about the friend quality. Think about how we can be on each other's team, how we can be best friends. I've got lots of other episodes on sexual polarity and many more coming, so you can check those out for the fire, the lower chakra stuff, the sexual desire, passion, and attraction. But in the long term, the most important thing is going to be your friendship. At the end of the day, we're all just driving each other home. That's what we really want, is someone beside us in that car, holding our hands, singing along to music with us, making sure that, even if we get lost together. And it takes consistency. It takes a lot of effort to, commit to that. And it can also be fun. It can be fun. It can be fun even in the face of scary moments or getting lost. How can you make fun out of that? How can you make the hardships be vehicles for growth? Right? Because this is what happens, is along this journey of life, there's tough times. And the tough times make for breakthroughs. Right? We can't break through something unless we break down. We need to break down so that we can break through. The breakdowns are opportunities for us to face life's challenges. And anytime that you break down, it's likely because you're up to something big in the world. Now, if you're never breaking down, if you're never facing challenges, you're probably just like cruising through life. You're probably not up to much. So just know that those breakdowns are opportunities, and life never gives you anything you can't handle. The measurement of how deeply you'll actually break through is what you do when you face those challenges and how you do it as a family together. Be best friends. Be best friends, and you can get through anything. You can get through anything together. So go do it. Don't wait. Go do it now. Go be your best friend to your best friend. Sending you so much love, and hopefully that this episode was helpful for you. What are your thoughts? What are your curiosities? What would you like to hear more of? Drop it in the comment section below, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much for being here. Hello, you beautiful souls. Thank you for listening to the Embodied Relationship Podcast with Braedy Mac. I want to introduce to you a program for those of you who are in relationship, who are potentially married or just in a longer term relationship and might be feeling stuck or uncertain or simply craving more intimacy in your long-term relationship. The program that I would love to introduce to you is my signature program, which is the Embodied Relationship Council. And this is a journey where you get to embark on opening the heart and exploring the power of mindfulness, emotional healing, as well as the science of lasting connection. And it's not just about the spark, it's about creating conscious love that evolves over time and actually thrives with more time together. And so this is a space for conversation for you and your partner to come together and to experience what it's like to grow together in love and understand the warm, loving embrace of each other's souls. Through the joys, through the challenges, we learn how to overcome all of this through conscious love. So if you're craving a love that really feels like home, a connection that nourishes your heart, I implore you to check out Embodied Relationship Council, and let's deep dive into your soul's growth, your soul's liberation, and the magic of conscious love together. If you're interested in joining the Embodied Relationship Council, click the link in the show notes, and I look forward to seeing your application come in. Peace and love, everybody.